Assalamualaikum everyone. Today we are going to learn what mensuration is, and for that we need to know the meaning of this word, what this term means, mensuration. It is a field of mathematics that involves finding area, volume and length of different geometric shapes. Now we are going to look how to find area of different geometric shapes. For that we need to know the properties of the different geometric shapes to identify what the shape is. So, let us begin with rectangle. So, in rectangle the opposite lengths, the opposite sides are equal and parallel. This means this thing means that these two lines are parallel to one another, and when we use a single line like that, small line, this means that these two lengths are equal in length. So, the opposite lengths are equal and parallel, that means these two are also equal and parallel. These two are also equal and parallel. Also, another thing is that the four vertices are 90 degree. That is what a rectangle is. If these four vertices are not 90 degree, it would have been a parallelogram too, because in parallelogram the opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. These two sides are parallel and equal in length, these two sides are parallel and equal in length. The thing that makes rectangle and parallelogram different is that the rectangle have the four vertices of the angle of four vertices are 90 degree. Then let us move on to trapezium. In trapezium, the two opposite sides, only one pair of sides are parallel. They might or might not be equal in length. That does not have to be the case. The length does not have to be equal, but the thing is that only one pair of opposite sides are parallel to each other. Oh, I forgot to tell about how to find the area of rectangle. To find the area of rectangle, we need to know the two length. One is this length that we are calling as L, and another side that is perpendicular to this side. So, B. We are saying that this length is equal to B. So, area of rectangle is length into breadth. Okay. So, I am saying that this side of the trapezium is B and this side is A. The length of this side is A and the length of this side is B. And the H is the distance between these two opposite sides. When I say that also sometimes called as height, when I say the distance between two opposite sides, that means this height is making 90 degree angle with both A and B. This line is making, that means the H is making 90 degree with both this side and this side. And if we find H and we know A and B, we can find the area of trapezium, and that is half into A plus B, the sum of these two opposite sides that are parallel multiplied by H, also called as the distance between the two opposite sides. So, all of you might be familiar with this shape, kite. So, in kite, the adjacent sides, the sides that are together are equal in length. These two sides are equal in length, and these two sides are equal in length as denoted by this symbol. Also, if we draw diagonals from this vertex to this vertex, the two opposite vertices and the two opposite vertices, if we draw two diagonals, the diagonals are 90° to each other. And if we know the length of the diagonals, the length of this diagonal, let us say, is B, and the length of this diagonal is A. So, if we know this length, we can find the area of kite, and that is half into A into B. Now, let us move on to triangle. For triangle, there are three sides. It is a polygon with three sides, and to find the area of triangle, we need to know one base and height. So, if we take this length as the base C, if we take C as the base, that means the distance from A to B, if we take this as the base, then the height would be this thing. Okay. That is because the vertex opposite to this length is the capital C. Capital C is the vertex opposite to this length. From this point C, capital C, if we draw a line that is perpendicular to this side, that would be the height. That would be the height. So, the area in this case would be half into C into this perpendicular height, edge. Sometimes in exams, this side might not be given. Let us say only this side is given. Only this side is given, and this length is given. This length is given. Let us say this length is L, let us say. So, in that case, you can take this as base and this as height. Remember, when finding the area of triangle, if you take one side as the base, the height would be the length from the vertex opposite to this side, that makes a perpendicular with this length, with the base. So, in this case, the area would be half into B into L. Sometimes in exams, it is given like that these two length is given and the angle here is given. Even then, we can find the area of triangle. How can we do that? For that, we need to know trigonometry. we know that sin theta equals to opposite by hypotenuse. Cos theta equals to adjacent by hypotenuse, and tan theta equals to opposite by adjacent. So, we know this side, so we know we can take this as base half into c into, and what would be the height. So, here we know this angle theta and we do not know this height, we have to find it. How are we going to find it? From sin theta, this formula we can see that sin theta equals to opposite by hypotenuse. That means, the length opposite to this angle theta is the h, and the hypotenuse is this side. It is a right angle triangle, this angle is 90 degree and this side is B. For right angle triangle, the hypotenuse is the side that has the longest length, and the side that is near to this angle is called the adjacent side, and the side opposite to the angle theta is the opposite side. So, sin theta would be h opposite by B. In this way, we can write area equals to, so height would be that means the h would be B sin theta. So, area would be half into this base, that is C, and this height which is B sin theta. So, if we know the two sides and the angle between them, we can also find the area of triangle. So, now let us move on to parallelogram. As we have already discussed while comparing with rectangle, is that for parallelogram, the opposite sides are parallel and equal in length, but the vertices are not 90 degree, these angles are not 90 degree. So, to find the area of parallelogram, we use this formula A into H, one side and the length between the two parallel sides, distance between two parallel sides, and this distance is making 90 degree with the two sides. So, you might notice that there is one similarity between parallelogram and trapezium, and that is in trapezium we say that only one pair of opposite sides are parallel in length, and also here in parallelogram one pair of opposite sides are parallel in length. That is why we can also call parallelogram a trapezium. A parallelogram can be a trapezium, but a trapezium is not a parallelogram, because in trapezium these two sides are not equal in length, and also these two sides are not parallel and equal in length. So, a parallelogram can be a trapezium. A parallelogram is a trapezium, but a trapezium is not a parallelogram. So, you might wonder, if we know this side and this height, we can also use the formula of trapezium to find the area of parallelogram. Yeah, we can do that, because if this length is A, this length must be A, because in parallelogram the opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. So, comparing with the area of the formula for area of trapezium, we can write half into A plus A, the length of the opposite sides, into h. That gives us half into 2A into h. That means A into h. So, that is why this formula also proves that a parallelogram is a trapezium. Another thing is that let us say we do not know this height. In exam you are not given with this height, but these two sides and this angle is given. Then you can find the area of parallelogram. How can you do that? Is that we call that as height, but we can also, this would also be the same height. That makes 90 degree with this side and 90 degree with this side. So, that makes a right angle triangle, and we can use the trigonometric formula sin theta equals to opposite by hypotenuse. Sin theta equals to the side opposite to this angle theta is h, and the hypotenuse means the longest length of the right angle triangle is b. So, the h would be b sin theta, and in this way we can write the area of parallelogram as A into b sin theta, as h is b sin theta. Okay, now we are going to find the shaded area that are marked with black line. So, for these two shapes. So, let us begin with this shape. Here we can see that this is a rectangle and the shape inside this is a kite. As for kite, we know that the adjacent sides are equal in length. These two adjacent sides are equal in length and these two adjacent sides are equal in length. So, to find the shaded area for here, we need to subtract the area of kite from the area of rectangle. So, first we need to find the area of rectangle. So, let us write shaded area equals to area of rectangle. Area of rectangle, if we subtract area of rectangle, minus area of kite. That means we are removing the kite from this rectangle. If we remove the kite from this rectangle, only we will get this shaded area. That is what we are doing now. So, here area of rectangle equals to length into breadth, we already know, and here the length is 9 centimeter. 9 into 4 9 centimeter and the breadth is 4 centimeter. 9 into 4 minus area of kite. For area of kite, we need to know the length of the diagonals. So, the diagonals, this diagonal is parallel and equal in length to this side of this rectangle. So, the length of this diagonal is 9 centimeter and the another diagonal for the kite is this length of the diagonal is parallel to this side of the rectangle. So, this diagonal is 4 centimeter and for kite we know that the area is half into product of diagonals, that is half into 9 into 4, that's my 80. So, what the unit will be, as the lengths are in centimeter. So, length is a one dimensional thing and length is one dimensional, but area is two dimensional. Length is one dimensional, but area is two dimensional. 1, 2, two dimensional. So, that means the area for area the unit will be centimeter into centimeter, centimeter square. That makes the shaded area here 18 centimeter square. So, now let us move to this shape. To find shaded area here, shaded area equals to area of rectangle. This is a rectangle and we need to remove the trapezium from this area, from the rectangle to find the shaded area. That means area of rectangle, minus area of trapezium, area of trapezium. So, here area of rectangle would be, for that we need to know the length and breadth of the rectangle. So, here this side from this point to this point the length is 3 meter and from this point to this point the length is 6 meter. So, the length from this point to this point is the sum of these two, 3 plus 6, 9. So, that makes this length 9 centimeter, sorry, it is meter, it is meter and the area of breadth is 5 meter. So, area of rectangle would be 9 into 5 minus area of trapezium. We are going to remove the trapezium from the rectangle to get the shaded area. So, area of trapezium, we already know that area of trapezium is half into length of the two opposite parallel sides, that means 3 and 7 and the height between them. So, this height between them is parallel and equal in length to this side of the rectangle. So, that would also be 5 meter. So, area of trapezium is half into 7 plus 3, 7 plus 3 into 5. that gives us 20. So, as the length, as the measurement of the length were in meter, the unit of area here would be meter square.